Do you think in the wake of all of these revelations, Facebook's going to make any changes?
I think they're going to be forced to make some changes. I think what the terrific reporting the Journal did, and and I think we're going to see more as the more documents are before other reporters in certain areas. But really, the question is whether the fundamental change will be made to shift the argument that Zuckerberg made that by and large we're good to we can't tolerate certain things. Everyone says, boy, one person committing suicide because of bad body image problems, bad mental health on Instagram, that's too many. But the question is, are 20 million people, young teenage girls, suffering mental health issues or having them made worse by Instagram? Where do you have to go to change the product to acknowledge that that's intolerable? And I think that's probably what Facebook leadership is grappling with now. Mark is a rational being. And the question, which is one we've been asking for quite some time, I raise it in my book, is are we going to see that more fundamental shift?
Yeah, interesting question to be raised here. The question is sort of how much the product needs to change to make the changes to the impact. Jeff, are you surprised by the way Zuckerberg responded? Pretty defensive.
No, not really. I mean, to sort of answer the thing that you led off with, yes, the concerns she's raised do make sense. They are very well laid out in the documents that she gathered inside the company. And I think in some respects, it was the wide gap between what the company was saying publicly and what employees themselves could see if they chose to look inside Facebook's own systems that kind of led to Ms. Haugen coming forward.
Stephen, I wonder how you're thinking about... Yeah,
interesting. And then if you...
Go ahead, Julia.
No, please, Carl, go ahead.
Stephen, I'm wondering how you're thinking about how legislators are thinking about what needs to be, quote unquote, illegal, because the conversation continues to center around content that either angers users or makes them feel depressed, which clearly is not going to be unique to Facebook, don't you think?
Totally. I mean, what the legislators will do. I think the good thing that came out of this hearing is it was one of the more substantive hearings I've ever experienced, by talking about how algorithms work, and because she didn't work at Facebook, there weren't all these questions saying, will you commit to X, Y, or Z? And they actually listened to her, and she walked them through these documents which she took from Facebook. So I think that was good. But to me, when you heard Senator Markey, I believe, say, the time is up, Mark Zuckerberg, we're coming for you. I heard that from Dianne Feinstein and other legislators in 2018. It's really difficult to come up with legislation that's not going to trample the First Amendment to limit what Facebook does in this area. It really is going to be a question of public pressure in some respects. In other respects, they mentioned a privacy law, which is up now. We've been waiting for that for years. It's badly, badly needed. And I think that maybe that's one thing they could do for us this session if they can get their act together.